Hello and welcome back to Sharin No Kuni. And yeah, I'm sorry that the episodes are so delayed. It is part, or that this episode specifically will be up way later than I anticipated it, not only because of my fail and being too lazy to record, but also because my internet provider somehow fucked up my internet. After not even a week, after 4 days, I am already without the internet. I'm checking again. Yep, no internet whatsoever, so I can't upload this episode, but that doesn't stop me from actually recording it. So yeah, just for your information that you will get very, very late. So probably up until I have my internet back, there will be more than one episode already pre-recorded for the sole reason that I have to keep up with this. That I don't want to rush it, but I also don't want to neglect it for too long. So, and there's not really a reason for me to do so, other than me being lazy. In some occasions. Anyway, let's continue where we left off the last time. Dot. God, I have some kind of slime in my throat that is a little bit hard right now. And I even drank something already. Not that kind of drinking. Whatever. She wasn't here. I decided to return home for the time being. Oh yeah, Natsumi. Natsume? Oh god. Bad start. Not recollecting the names. The lights were on. She must have come back. Nak-chan, where did you go? I questioned her as soon as my foot was in the door. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm back. Where did you go? Huh? What? Now? Her eyelids began to droop. You went somewhere while I was at school, right? I'm your supervisor now, you know? I have to be with you at all times during this stage. Why is she so weird? Once I get a handle on your day-to-day activities, you can operate independently to some extent. However, until then, I want you to stay within range of me. Okay. Do you understand? Understand what? Did she not even listen? Her face was blank. Are you listening to me? Oh, she's on the phone, maybe? Wait, what? Who? Okay, now you're just joking around, right? What? I'm sorry. I've been spacing out for a while now. ... The object at Natsumi's feet suddenly caught my... What? Wait, the object at Natsumi's feet suddenly caught my attention. A white flower was peeking out of a rolled-up newspaper. So you went shopping? I guess we had just missed each other at the supermarket. That flower? No, that flower. Oh. Is it an offering for someone? Uh-oh. That smile was very forced. Looked like she didn't want to tell me what was up. May I ask you something? My job involved asking questions. To whom are you offering this flower? That's... Do I have to say it? It is imperative that I get to know if you ever wish to be free. I don't want to say it. The problem is she was terrified by the thought of getting free for some reason of her obligations. So that wouldn't really tuck her strings. ... As a high-class individual, I possess the authority to order her to answer. However, doing things like that just wasn't my style. That's fine, but instead I have a request for you, alright?
はあ、どんなことでしょう?
I see. What is it? Well, this is my job after all, so I was just putting on airs. What? I was just putting on airs. Apology made itself known around the corner of Natsumi's pursed lips. She must have recalled the events of yesterday. Like I said before, I'd appreciate it if I could remain close to you during your daily activities.
はあ、それだけで?
Is that all? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna follow you into the bathroom or anything.
わかりました.
Understood. Well, now that we had that cleared up, that flower would shrivel up and die if it were left like that for more than a day or so. Based on this, I could conclude that Natsumi would be offering it to someone tomorrow. If I remained by her side, I would arrive at the site of a grave. And then I would be able to ask the townspeople about that grave. Well then, shall we have dinner? Yes. The evening wore on, drenched in an atmosphere of awkwardness all the while. It was unusually humid for summer. Natsumi was sleeping on a separate futon. I painstakingly laid my aching body to rest, my injuries aggravated by the heat. If I remember correctly, it was pretty humid back then too. 7 years ago. The largest rebellion of the post-war period had taken place, initiated by a revolutionary named Higuchi Saburo. Dissatisfied with the current special high-class law, insurgents took up arms one by one. The rebellion gained backing from foreign powers and eventually developed to the point that the government grew wary of a coup d'etat. The revolutionaries even went so far as to surround the president's private residence. However, eventually the efforts of the military and security forces proved effective in quashing the rebellion. Higuchi Saburo was reported as a bomb casualty. And as per the involvement clause, his family members all received the maximum penalty. Wait, what? One of the reasons I like Japan is that they don't visit the sins of the fathers upon the sons. Oh, and Japan was that fictional country in this novel. Not visit the sins of the fathers upon the sons. Though they do tend to be bullied at school and looked at more harshly by others. Even so, Japan's method is an honest one. I've always thought so. And it is at odds with our own special high-class law, a system in which criminals are burdened with custom-made obligations and a high-class individual guides them on the road to rehabilitation. However, the process of becoming a high-class individual is so difficult that it has been nicknamed the Sage's Exam. In other words, our judicial system is woefully short on manpower. However, lowering our standards remains impermissible. For if we were to appoint a lesser human to the position of a special high-class individual, their guidance would surely result in an inadequate rehabilitation. And as a result, our society has come to rely heavily upon the concept of deterrence. Well, there are numerous obligations to which the involvement clause does not apply. Do not commit a crime. If you do, your family will pay the price. Is that it? Ideal education through ideal punishment, my ass. What? White Oni-chan? Dot, dot, dot. What? I'm confused. When do we reach the second chapter, though? I awoke early in the morning. I had managed to catch that elusive moment between the appearance of the sun and the crowning of the rooster. Natsumi was still asleep. I tried stretching my shoulder. Ugh! It still hurt. Bam? Huh? Natsumi suddenly pushed her futon away. Dot dot dot. Yo, good morning. Dot dot. Nakchan? Dot dot dot. Natsumi ignored me and slowly stood up. Oh yeah, that's a nice expression. That's a really nice expression right there. She was looking in my direction. What's the matter? Oh, it's so adorable. She approached. Hey, Nakchan, don't come any closer. While acting as a special high-class individual, I possessed the right to lay my hands on her if I deemed it necessary. However, if she were the one to initiate the contact, it could only be seen as a violation of her obligation. Nakchan! I clapped right in front of her face. Oh god, that's really weird if she touches people in trance. She dropped like a sack of bricks. Power had fled from her waist. Nakchan, are you awake? Yeah, I'm very sorry. You're not a morning person, I guess. Did I say anything strange? She hadn't said anything strange per se. Well, you just surprised me a bit. So I did say strange things? Kinda. Sorry. Sleep talk acts as a reflection of one's inner psyche. I wanted to get to know her better. Never thought you would have a secret like that. Oh! I tried leading her on. What? Did I blurt out something like Gyafun? Gyafun? Huh? That wasn't it? Oh yeah, that's what you said. Gyafun. Oh no, I mean, oh yeah. Is that even a real word? People don't normally say things like that, do they? Gyafun? Dot dot dot. If one were to examine the situation from a Junjin perspective, he or she would come to the conclusion that Natsumi was dissatisfied with reality in some way, leading her to construct a vocabulary of her own. Gyafun, eh? Gyafun. No clue. Anyway, you are up pretty early, yeah? Yeah, I'm going to take a walk. Do you take walks around the area where we met by any chance? I was talking about the sunflower field at the entrance of the town, of course. Yeah, that's right. I feel the most comfortable there. What about lunch? After I come back. Alright then, let's go. You're coming too? We discussed this yesterday, remember? The fact that I would monitor her activities.
はあ、そうですね。
Oh, that's right. She seemed none too pleased.
わかりました。
Understood. Gloominess played at the corners of her face. Gerfun. Wow, now he's just messing with her.
やめてください。恥ずかしいです。
but please stop. It's embarrassing. Let's go.
ええ。
Okay. The awkward atmosphere from last night persisted. Natsumi left without the white flower. It seemed we would not be heading to the grave just yet. So this was just an ordinary stroll through the sunflowers. Hey, Nakchan.
はい。
I thought you were going for a walk. Why aren't you, walking?
ああ、今は日向ぼっこの時間でして。
It's time to bask in the sun right now. Time to space out too?
え、もちろん。
Yes, of course. I unconsciously threw out my chest. You know, I'm the kind of guy who can't stand being alone.
はあ。
Wait, what? Doesn't even make any sense. So it's pretty hard on me if you spend all of your time spacing out. Okay.
それは。
How intriguing. I'm always talking to myself, right?
ええ。ええ。
Yes, he does. And I do too most of the time. So please, keep me in mind.
何がですか？
What? Dot. Nakchan, are you listening to me?
誰がですか？
Who? Seriously, you're just messing around, aren't you?
ごめんなさい。ぼーっとしてて。
Wow, she spaces out really quickly. I'm sorry, I was spacing out. Dot. My efforts were to no avail. You're looking quite a ways off, aren't you? Her gaze fell upon the road lined with sunflowers leading out of town. You don't want to leave town, do you?
ええ。ええ。
Huh? Yeah? What? It was as if she were waiting for someone. You're waiting for your boyfriend, aren't you?
です。
Oh god! Your obligation says that she's not allowed to have a relationship with the other... with the other gender. Yes. For real?
あ、何がですか？
What? Come on.
ごめんなさい。どうしようもなく、ぼーっとしてしまって。
I'm sorry. I always end up spacing out when you're talking to me. You're gonna collapse again if you don't pay attention, you know?
ええ。夏は嫌ですね。暑いですし。
Yeah, I hate summer. It's so hot. So when can we resume our walk?
そのうちに。
Eventually? Dot. And so I decided to space out as well. And she's gone. No? Okay. Our walk had drawn to an end. We had ended up wandering around until past noon. At the moment, the palpably silence spreading throughout the apartment was boring me to tears. I'm gonna go visit Sachi.
はい。お昼ご飯作ってますね。
Okay, I'll make lunch. Okay, Sachi, yes. Perhaps Mana had already returned. I arrived at Sachi's apartment.
はい。
Sachi greeted me immediately. Good morning. Are you enjoying your summer vacation?
別に。
Not really. She was in a funk for some reason. Is Mana here?
珍しく起きてるけど。
Yeah, she's awake for once. Can you call her out here?
なんか用?
Do you need her for something? Something like that. Sachi closed the door without a word. Sachi's a little bit off. Normally she's totally hyperactive, but she acted so distant. Mana arrived after a short wait. Kenichi, listen, listen! Mana was in high spirits in contrast to Sachi.
昨日お給料もらったよ。
Mana received her salary yesterday. Oh, is that so? That's good. I received the confirmation I had been looking for. See ya.
何しに来たの?
Oh, that's why he came around. Oh, what did you come for? ... I just wanted to express my gratitude for you guys. I mean, you let me stay here until now.
引っ越したの?
You're moving? I'll be just down the hall in a friend's room.
たまに遊びに行ってもいい?
Can you still play with Mana? Of course.
今まで泊めてもらったお礼?
You wanted to express your gratitude? Yeah, thanks a lot.
別に礼なんていいよ。
You don't need to thank me. I know, you were probably planning to use me for your own twisted devices.
さすが森健、察しのいいことで。
That's our Moriken, always making wise judgments. Just say the word. Nothing is impossible for me after all.
森健の怪我が治ったらね。
I'll come calling after your injury heals up, okay? I'll be staying in Natsumi's room for a while. If anything comes up, don't hesitate to come by.
じゃあね。
See you! Wow, now she was in high spirits again. What was up with that? I saw something funny as I was returning to Natsumi's room. It was Natsumi, leaving without me. Furthermore, she was pressing the newspaper containing the white flower to her chest. I hid beneath the staircase and watched her go by. Natsumi hurried to the exit of the building. To a third party, both of our actions must have appeared quite suspicious. In any case, I needed to follow her. Seriously, does she hate me that much? Natsumi's pace slackened as soon as she got outside. I removed the bandage from my hand and took a pair of glasses and a tube of hair gel out of my case. I put on the glasses and swept back my hair while in the midst of my pursuit. I also donned a light cardigan. Wait, did he brought his staircase the whole time with him? I put my hands in my pockets and slouched like a hoodlum, in contrast to my usually upright gait. I concentrated my gaze upon Natsumi's ankles in order to avoid eye contact should she turn around. Now, where exactly was she going to take me? Surreptitious maneuvers proved difficult in such an open area. We had gone pretty far already. It seemed that we were heading to the very outskirts of town. Natsumi silently continued on her way without even the slightest hesitation. In other words, she was in quite the hurry. We had arrived at Mount Modita. The hum of cicadas and scent of dirt filled my head. Oh god, this sound is so annoying. The magnificent canopy spreading out above us dampened the light of the sun. Natsumi had yet to falter. We had been walking for nearly 2 hours now? It'd be great if we could arrive at our destination before the sun set. Oh, thank God it's over. Dots. I had been trailing Natsumi for 4 hours now. By the time she finally stopped walking, crimson was frolicking in the air around us, highlighting every last nook and cranny of the mountain. Nakchan. I finally called out to her. It's me. I removed the glasses. What are you doing this far out? So they are 4 hours. They were on the run for 4 hours. Doesn't she get hungry or anything?
森田さんこそ
No, you could not. I am your supervisor. I have to follow you. I could ask you the same thing. She was worn out from all the climbing we had done. And my wound was aching like a bitch. Sorry, I was doing a little bit of stalking.
ひどいです
That's awful. I could say the same to you. What were you doing waiting until I was out like that?
そんなことないですたまたまです
It's nothing like that. It was just a coincidence. Please stop lying to me. It was breaking my heart. You ran until you were out of the dorm, then slowed down to a walk. This can mean nothing except the fact that you were wary of my return from Sachi's room. A disagreeably expression began to creep across her face.
ごめんなさい
I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I apologize for speaking so harshly. ... I told you to remain near me yesterday, didn't I? I won't ask you any questions. You can do whatever you please. This was cruel even for me. Natsumi desired solitude above all else. If you cannot accept this, no matter what, I suppose I can return by myself. ... I see. I gave up and started to turn around, but just then... Natsumi placed the white flower already beginning to wilt on the ground. Upon closer examination, I discovered a knee-high wooden stake protruding from the ground where she had laid the flower. Was this the grave I had sought?
森田さんは好きな人がいますか
Monita-san, do you have someone you like? Natsumi's hair and ribbon danced in duet within the mountain wind.
これはみんなが建てたケンちゃんのお墓なんです
We all built this together. It's Ken-chan's grave.
みんなケンちゃんのこと許せなかったんですが私がいつまでも泣いているから仕方なくこんな小さなお墓を作ってくれたんです
No one else could forgive Ken-chan, but they ended up helping to build this grave because I was always crying over him.
ケンちゃんというのは私の幼なじみです
Ken-chan is my childhood friend.
7年前この山でいなくなってしまいました
He disappeared on this mountain 7 years ago.
生きているのか死んでしまったのかわかりませんが
I don't know if he's dead or alive.
さっちゃんや磯野くんは大嫌いになってしまいましたけれど
Sak-chan and Isono-kun ended up hating him.
私は
But I... You're talking about Higuchi Ken, right? I interrupted her tale before she had the chance to finish.
ケンちゃんと初めて出会ったのはあのひまわり畑なんですよ
Sunflower Field is where I first met Ken-chan.
ケンちゃん私のリボン褒めてくれてすごい嬉しかったんです
He praised my ribbon. That made me so happy.
ぼーっと街の外を眺めながら帰ってこないかなってずっと思ってるんです
I've been spacing out while watching the outskirts of town since then, wondering if he'll return. Higuchi Ken? Isn't that the son of the rebellion leader? Wasn't there also a Higuchi but with a different name here?
でも
But
ちょっと 嫌になってしまいました。
I've become a little unpleasant.
私はいつもビクビクして人の顔色を伺って、友達もいなくなって嘘をつくようにもなってしまって。
I doubt and fear others. I've lost all of my friends. Can't stop telling lies.
リボンもヨレヨレになってしまいましたし、
And even the ribbon that Kenshan praised has gotten worn out.
だから今日お花を添えることにしたんです。
That's why I decided to put this flower here today.
今まで何度もここに来ては何もしないで帰っていたんですが、もういいかなって。
I used to come up here all the time, but I always left without offering anything. With this, maybe I've done enough.
何もかもつまんなくて、
Everything just feels so pointless. Well, everything just feels so pointless. Speaking out of my heart here. Everything feels kinda pointless, and still, for some reason we go on. For some reason. And I think the reason being is that we hope that we find something worth going on in the process of living.
夏が来て風が吹いて暑くなって、毎日学園に通って、何か面白いことありますか？
Summer comes, the wind blows, it gets hotter. I attend school every day. Is there anything for me here?
だってたとえケンちゃんが帰ってきたとしても、私は
Cause even if Kenshan comes back, he'll...
こんな義務を持った私なんかきっと。
After seeing what I've become while bearing this obligation, you'll definitely
嫌われちゃう。
hate me. The girl's lamentations dispersed into the evening mists. Why would he do that?
すいませんね。いきなり気持ち悪いこと言ってしまって。
Wait, what? I'm sorry. I started talking about disgusting things all of a sudden. Why was that a disgusting thing? This was very philosophical and very interesting indeed. Finding something out about her past. Well, even though it's just a small fraction.
嫌ですよね。不幸をアピールしてるみたいで。気持ち悪いですね。
Oh no. Unpleasant, isn't it? Don't you think I'm just trying to get you to feel sorry for me? Disgusting. Truly disgusting. She laughed without humor. She laughed without hope.
というより、別に不幸じゃないし、もっと大変な人だっているのに、勝手に自慢してるし。
Oh god, this feeling is so familiar. And I'm really not that bad off, you know? There are people who have it much worse than I do. I'm even trying to boast about it. ...
帰りましょう。今日はどもでした。
Let's go home. I'm very sorry about today. Oh god, Natsumi began to descend the mountain, a cloud of uncertainty hanging around her. She paid me no heed. Suddenly, the cell phone in my case rang. It was a disposable cell phone provided by Pops. This was the first time I had occasion to use it. I hurriedly took it out and answered the call. This is Morita? I have urgent instructions. Yes. Wait, what? You are henceforth dismissed from the responsibility of supervising Hinata Natsumi. Dismissed? What did he do wrong, and why? I object. Please explain your reasoning. Your contact with Natsumi in the past has been judged as an obstacle to your duties. So that was what he was up to yesterday, examining our past. Okay, I'm fine with that. Instead, I'm assigning you to supervise Mitsuhiro Sachi. You are probably already aware of this, but I have had contact with Sachi in the past as well. I know. He was entrusting her supervision to me regardless? I failed to understand why Sachi was fine, but Natsumi was not. It's all about priorities, Morita. He adopted a gentle attitude with me for the first time in many years. Mitsuhiro Sachi, One Toka, and Hinata Natsumi. I shall entrust them to you in this order. If you are able to successfully rehabilitate all three, you will become an official special high-class individual. Had to give a third-rate person like me a thorough explanation after all. Wait, a third-rate person is the lowest of person, isn't it? I understood. I will begin immediately. Perform to the best of your abilities. I expect great things from you, Morita Kenichi. It was out of character for pups to offer such a cheap compliment. Wait, cheap compliment? Oh, okay. I ended the call and approached the makeshift grave. ... I reached down and plucked the dried flower. Knowing you, you've probably already figured it out. But I have to say it. He is Ken! He is Ken Higuchi! I am Higuchi Ken! Holy shit! Well, it was kinda foreseeable, but... Wow. Okay, yeah, so he changed his identity. And he pretended to not know any of them. And in fact, all of them know him already, but for some reason they can't recognize him. But who could fault them because it's 7 years in the past? They probably just forgot his face. Oh! I cannot afford to waste my time making money. What? What is this symbol? This is the obligation of restricted time. The obligation of... the obligation of the opposite sex or relations with the other gender. The obligation of... not being an adult. And what is that? Okay, I will definitely save here. Like so. Alright, I think even though this episode is a little bit short, I will end it here just for the sole reason that this is the next chapter. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. Leave a like if you did. Maybe even share it with one of your friends. That would really, really help me out. Helping me the channel grow. And yeah. I hope I will see you then in the next episode, and I hope that this episode was going up soon enough. In any case, for the sole reason that my internet is not working, I would love to upload it right now, but I can't. Well, anyway, so long. Stay tuned for more.